Howdy, good morning. My name is Rob, also known as the Junk Monkey here online, and I am a treasure hunter. I'm a full-time picker and reseller, thrifter. I go to places like yard sales, estate sales, thrift stores, and the Goodwill bins to find things that I can buy and then flip online for a profit. I've been trying to make daily videos for you guys, and so far I've been able to do that. I also am a part-time watchmaker. I've been a watchmaker for 40 years, and I'm trying to get to a point in my life where I can retire from that part of my life. Maybe set up a bench. I don't know if you can see it, but over in the corner, I have another bench set up here at the house, and I have got thousands upon more thousands, over 100,000 parts and pieces here. Not to mention all the watches that I have collected along the years that I would like to work on my own stuff for a change instead of customer stuff. And then I could resell or flat out sell the stuff that I work on with the watches. Today I am actually headed into the watch repair shop. I have got a ton of work there to do. 4 or 5 Rolexes, a couple of Omegas. I'm the only guy in the valley who is trained and qualified to work on those. So you can imagine my workload can get pretty heavy. But we're not going to get into that today. Today we're going to still talk about thrifting and reselling things online. I don't know if we're going to get to a thrift store today. I'm going to try to. Depends on how late I work at the watch shop. But worst comes to worst, we've got tons of stuff in here we can do and things that I can show you. There's still a ton of work to do in here for me to get caught up. I have what's called, in a lot of reseller circles, a death pile. I've always called it backstock. On the days where I just don't find anything at the thrift stores, and here lately it's been pretty thin on the finds. Been doing better at the Goodwill bins, but I went yesterday and I spent $3 and didn't find much in the way of anything I could list. Did find a few little supplies for around the shop. However, in a recent trip to the Goodwill bins, you'll see that if you go back in a couple of videos, I don't know if it's the last bins trip or the one before that, but we found a cast iron Dutch oven made by Griswold, and it's exceedingly rare with comps in the 200 to 300 range. And that's actual sold comps. And the ones that were $300 were the ones that were cleaned and reseasoned. Mine, if you go back and look, was just grungy. That thing had decades upon decades of old seasoning and crust all over it. And then a couple of videos back, I showed you guys my electrolysis tank. They're super easy to build. All you need is a plastic tub, a battery charger, and some washing soda. Maybe some wire. They're super easy to build. You can build one in less than 5 minutes and be up and running. Anyway, that Dutch oven just came out of the electrolysis tank yesterday, and I've got 1 layer of seasoning on it. Let me show it to you, and then you can go back in the other video. I'll try to find that video and link it in the comments below or the description. But here's what it looks like today. I won't go so far as to say it looks brand new, but at the very least, it does not have all of that caked on black grunge. There's a look at the lid, inside and out. Here's a look at the Dutch oven itself, inside and out. And what makes this one so rare is that it's a number 7. In general, this is not written in stone, but in general, when you find the antique and vintage cast iron, anything with a odd number on it, except maybe the number 3s, but the 7s, 9s, 13s, anything like that that has the odd number on it, you might want to get a little excited, because in general, they're normally very rare and it can make you a lot of money. I'm going to put that one probably, because there's none better than that one listed at the moment. I'm probably going to put that one up for $350 and turn on offers and just see what happens. Generally what happens when you have something really rare and you throw it up online, you start getting super lowball offers immediately. I see that a lot with the watches that I list. But hopefully, somebody will see it and they'll say, I'm not waiting for a better one. That's the best one I've ever seen. I'm going to go ahead and pay this guy's price. And that's what we're hoping for. Other than that, we have one thing going out of here this morning. You guys know I love my VHS. This is Ford Fairlane, The Adventures of Ford Fairlane, Andrew Dice Clay VHS. It always seems to me that no matter how bad sales get, and they're pretty lean right now, I always sell VHS. It's not much money, but it keeps things moving, gives me something to do, shows that I'm working in my store, there's activity in my store, and the eBay algorithm likes seeing activity. So we're going to get this one packaged up and sent out of here today. We're going to go to the watch repair shop. We're going to work on as many of those watches as we can to get us a good paycheck. We need it with sales being so slow. And when we get done at the watch repair shop today, I'll try to run you guys by the Goodwill and we'll look at the shelves and see if we can find some treasure. I'll see you when we get there. Well, we are obviously not at the thrift store. It is actually the next day. We packaged up that one VHS tape yesterday, and I was not feeling very well. So I took a couple of Tylenol, was trying to wait it out, and the mailman came by, so I ran the VHS tape out to him and got it on its way to its new owner. And I pretty much took yesterday off. I didn't even make it to the watch shop like I had planned to do, which I absolutely have to do today. I'm even further behind now. But yeah, yesterday was a bust for me. I felt just terrible all day long. Much better this morning. We should have 3 items going out of here this morning, but I made a boo-boo. Actually, we should have 4 items going out of here this morning, but I made a boo-boo. I actually made 2 boo-boos and almost lost 2 sales instead of 1. Show you what I'm talking about. First boo-boo. This is a set of uniform buttons from World War II era Army jacket. And they're made out of Bakelite. I recently ended the listing, and then when I hit sell similar a day or 2 later, I'm like, wait a minute, those aren't Bakelite, those are brass. I distinctly remember slight corrosion on the backs of these buttons. Hopefully you guys can see that. Each one of them has just a real light bit of patina and rust on the back, but only on the eye loop. The button themselves are made out of Bakelite. So last night I messaged the buyer. I'm like, look, I made a mistake. Here's what's going on. If you want to cancel, I'd be happy to send you a full refund immediately. Well, this morning I wake up and good news that the buyer was like, yes, I'm aware they're Bakelite. That's what I want. Please continue with the order. So these will go out of here this morning. We caught a break on that. I went by memory instead of coming out here and checking first. But anyway, that little situation turned out good. The second situation, the second boo-boo, you guys remember this? I mean, we only recently got it. The case was completely damaged. So I have a huge backstock of Disney movies. Mostly I sell the Black Diamond clamshell movies. And I buy them in almost any condition, as long as the tape is good and the sleeve insert is good. At the same time, I will buy any Disney clamshell movie at 10 cents a piece if the clamshell itself is in great shape. And what we did here is we took one of those Disney movies, removed the tape, put it in my testing tapes bin, and we removed the insert out of that one. We put the insert in this case, and we put the movie in this case. So now we've got a sellable object, and it's a Disney clamshell, and I priced it low because I just felt like the right thing to do. Anyway, I'm getting ready to ship it out this morning, and I just don't like it's the outer sleeve, the little plastic piece that holds the sleeve insert in there. It's kind of bowed and buckled. I'm like, you know what? I'm going to upgrade them to a better, even better clamshell. So I went and got a better clamshell, and I was about to put this movie in there when I noticed this. This tape is actually broken. So I've messaged that buyer. Hopefully they get back to me soon. I fully expect them to cancel this order. And hopefully I don't get a negative feedback about it. But, you know, these things happen. If they do send me a negative, I will have earned it. No two ways about it. If I get a negative feedback over this, I earned it. But at least I caught it before I shipped it. If I had shipped this movie and they got it in, put it in their VCR, and it got hung up in there, or they noticed the break even before they put it in their VCR, I would have really expected a negative feedback there. But hopefully the buyer is understanding and will cancel it, send them their money back, and this tape will also end up in our testing tapes bin that I use to test VCRs. I've always got a bunch of those. That way if I get a VCR in here and it eats tapes, at least it's eating something that doesn't matter. Actually, this one already being broke, I think we'll just discard it. All right, that's the two boo-boos. Here's the two really good sales going out. We got a vintage He-Man Golden Books VHS tape going out of here this morning. Now this one, the sleeve is in really bad shape. It's ripped, and that is shown in the listing. But we sold this for $7 plus shipping, so that was a good sale. If this had been in much better condition, it would have brought a lot more money. Also, the spine label is missing off of it. But I do so much better with VHS that is geared towards children than I do anything else. And yes, I know the Fangoria, Blood and Guts, horror, B-movie stuff, that stuff sells great. I rarely ever find it, but I find plenty of this stuff. And the last thing going out of here this morning is this Black & Decker Space Saver can opener. If you see anything Space Saver oriented, mostly Black & Decker, Sony makes some, but it's items, kitchen items and AV items, audio visual, that bolt to the underside of a cabinet. So your counter space is no longer taken up. This kind of stuff is really popular amongst RVers and van lifers, so they sell pretty good. And this one even comes with the mounting hardware, so that was a good sale. We sold this for $40 plus shipping. So that's what's going out of here. And this time, I promise you, the next time you see me, we will be at the thrift store. So come along for the ride, like and subscribe, and let's see if we can find some treasure today. You never know what we're going to find. Well, we are in. There's a new cart sitting here waiting on me. They are already putting out Christmas. Eesh. How are you today, Heather?
You know, the usual, tired, old, overtired.
Well, didn't see anything on that cart. We're going to check my favorite aisle. What do we got here? That looks very modern and unsigned. Funky little elephant. What's in the box? What's in the box? Ooh, a crystal mouse. That cutout. Oh, he's got a tail that's supposed to be attached, and it's broke off. I think. You know what? We're going to put that in the cart and look at it a little better later. I'm not sure. Is that the Swarovski swan underneath there? Well, I can't peel it. We're going to put that in the cart and look at it a little better. Caught my breath. I thought I found some neodymium, and I may have. We're going to look those up. Wow. Taking a day off may have done us some good. Boy, that cart is loud.
Yes. You're welcome.
Let's see, what in the funky... Is that a... Oh, I know what that is. It's an eyeglass holder. I think it's very new hobbyist. You guys let me know if I miss anything. I know it's just a candle holder, but I gotta look at it. Well, there's a piece of redware. Look like it might have a little age to it. We'll put that in the cart and look it up. I love the color of that glaze. It reminds me of mid-century so much. So much so that we're going to put it in the cart and look it up. Oh, I'm finding lots of stuff that I don't recognize.
Mrs. Ever.
We've looked that up before. It's supposed to be Bauer ringware, but yeah, it's not. So it's some kind of a inspired by or straight up knockoff of the Bauer pottery ringware. Nothing on the red. One of the ladybug candles is still here. Do my due diligence, look at the bottom. Yeah, it's plate.
Hey, I gotta say, man.
What?
I asked you know something, didn't nobody say that.
Check this white end cap. No decent milk glass. All right, let's check my second favorite aisle. Ooh, that's a pretty picture. I like it. For $2.49? Oh, it's plastic. I thought that was etched glass. All right, Goodwill, you got me. I hate it when I do that. It's always kind of funny though. Ooh, deviled egg trays. This one has lemons on it. Just one of them. Please say Italy on the bottom. Nope, Temptations made in China. Good thing Mrs. Monkey isn't here. That would be going home with us. Y'all don't tell her. Big server. Certified International. Certified Modern. That's an older French press. Copco Bistro French style coffee maker. Absolutely clean. I don't think it's ever been used. We will look that up. Funky little weird cruet. We'll leave that here. Oh, that would be so neat if that was another Mexico. Nope, it is not for a cast iron skillet. All right, let's see. I don't see any sets I need to check out. There's a Mickey Mouse mug. All right, let's see. Let's go around this way first. Look at the lamps. There's a couple of pretty lamps. That one's gonna be, oh my, that's glass for $10. If I had an antique booth, I would probably buy that and the one next to it. Is that a wax warmer? One of these days I'm gonna come around that corner and there's gonna be one of them floor lamps with all the uranium glass fixtures on it. But it's not gonna be this day. Any neat glasses? Nope. All right, folks, I'm gonna get off of here. I'll bring you back in when I find something quick. Nice mid-century drink caddy, but it's missing one of the tumblers. What a shame. They just rolled that new card out, and I grabbed a match safe, wall hanging match safe. You would put the kitchen matches in the top of it, and you would take them out one at a time right there. This one is cast aluminum. We're going to look it up. Every one of them I've ever found that I know was old was cast iron. That doesn't mean this one is not old, but we're going to look it up. All right, back to the hunt. There's that Avon car still here, red tag. I think next week or the week after it should be red tags, and if that's still here, we will get it. That's a pretty bowl, but it's very modern. One of my relatives, Hillbilly. Let's see if we can get on the kitchen aisle. Yeah, we can make a quick run through there, see if there's any more cast iron. Still working out a few kinks on my electrolysis tank. I need to go find some scrap sheet metal that'll fit inside it. The big piece of railroad iron I've got in it is acting more with the wire that I've got it attached to than it is the... That's what I thought, Pioneer Woman. Anyway, the electrolysis tank is not working quite as good as I would like it to. International Deep Silver for pickles, cottage cheese, relish, and candies. That's neat. I don't think it's $8 neat, though. Alrighty, folks. I'll bring you back in when I find something. Well, let's see. We can get on this electronics aisle now. There have been people on it. There's another one of those space saver things. This one is made by iLive. Never heard of them. They want $10 for it. It's a CD player. And there is another one. There's a Sony. It's got a red tag on it. We're going to wait till that goes on sale. By the way, the VHS that I found that had a crack in it, the customer got back to me and was very reasonable and put in a request to cancel. And I told him I would try to fix it. And I think I actually did. But I ran out of time this morning before I had to leave and go to the watch shop. But I've got it put back together, and we're going to test it when we get home. I have to pull one of my VCRs off of the storage unit, or storage shelf. And we are going to see if it works. All right, let's go check the toy aisle. One more chance for glass. That pink vase just keeps migrating around the store. Right. Toy aisle's not too bad with people. Check this end cap. I don't see anything exciting. There's a big Hulk. You know, I have a feeling that in 10 or 15 years, the large action figures are going to be the next generation's collectible action figure, like we do with Star Wars and G.I. Joe from the 80s. I didn't see anything there. There is where they put vases during the holiday season. Hardware aisle is jammed up. I'm going to sneak down through here, get a look at the end cap. It's the last end cap that I might be able to find some decent vintage on. Ooh, that looks useful. There's two of them. Might have to look at that. Something I can use in the shop. Yep, color flash, clear bottom, and it's got the little knurled ring on it. Same thing, clear bottom and knurled ring. Color flat. Ooh. Yep, clear bottom, no knurl on it. This one's a little older, but it's not real old, and it's just color flashed with an iridescence. All right, folks, I'll bring you back in shortly. There's no neat furniture to look at, nothing new anyway. But this old school desk is still here. I'm surprised that nobody has come and picked this thing up. That thing is just cool. It's only $30. No, they've got it marked down to $12.79.
Sir, I don't know if it's
well, apparently, man just come over and was telling me there's a Craigslist ad for Ashland, Oregon that has a whole bunch of these for free. They've got this one marked down, or somebody changed the tag out. I don't know what's going on there. But if you're in Medford, you can probably get this for $12.79. If you don't mind driving down to Ashland, take a look on Craigslist. See if you can find the post. Maybe you can go get a whole bunch of these. But they really are cool. All right, we still need to check shoes and media. Then we're going to go look all this stuff up. They're real, but I don't do too well with Converse. Some New Balance, some Asics, some Sauconys. All the stuff that used to be bread and butter listings for me, but are no longer really worth it. There's some really nice Brooks. We're gonna look those up. Boy, we got a cart full to look up. You know what? I'm gonna sneak in there and just take a quick look at the shoes. There's Skechers that are kind of beat up. Oh, they're gonna clear the way for me. Awesome. Let's see. Just not seeing much. What are these? Yeah. Those are some funky looking Nikes. Bright colored shoes used to do well for me, but not so much anymore. All right, let's go check media. Well, that was kind of exciting. I posted up right here where they bring the new carts out. I looked to the right and there was a chunk of rock. And I picked it up to turn it over and look at the bottom of it. And apparently it was somebody's homemade oil lamp, and it poured out the oil all over my hands. The manager, she saw me coming. It's like, what's wrong? And I showed her. Anyway, I was just in the back of the store cleaning my hands, getting the oil off of them and everything. But yeah, we're gonna sit right here and look all this stuff up, and hopefully by the time we're done looking it all up, they'll have another new cart out for us to look at. Well, folks, we did really good. Those Brooks tennis shoes, those are worth between $40 and $60. That is a Swarovski mouse, and in the box like that, there are listings for well over $100. And the neodymium bowls are apparently fire and ice, fire and light, fire and, oh Lord, I'm already forgetting what I just looked at. It's fire and light, yeah, but they are neodymium. So, and a set of them. So for $4, neodymium glass, fire and light, shoot, yeah, I'll take that all day long. We're having a good day in here. We're gonna take another slower trip around the store, see if I missed anything. Not uncommon for me. All right, folks. Would you look at that? Look at it. Just look at it. I don't know if you can read that, but it says Iona Electric Shoe Polisher. Look at that. It's just almost like new. Who can guess what this was used for? It has a very specific cult following, sort of, so to speak. I'll let you in on it at the end of the video, or somewhere towards the end of the video. But go ahead and pause right now and put your best guess what this was used for. So that is going to be a definite pickup. We are just doing awesome in here today. I took a day off, got some rest, come in here with a new attitude and just finding stuff left and right. Oh, by the way, the bowls are fire and light. I don't know why that slipped my brain so quickly. It's not something I'm accustomed to finding in my area. In fact, that's the very first pieces that I've ever found. I found two, and they're neodymium. I love neodymium glass. A neat cake plate, but it is color flashed, and the color flashing is chipping off. This store, oh, I haven't hit the office supply. Oh, there's one of my friends. How are you today?
All right. How are you?
Pretty good. You finding anything?
No.
You want to be on video? Make you famous?
No.
Okay, I won't put you on there then. Not bad. If you didn't know it, always keep your eye open for flashcards. These are new sealed 5th grade vocabulary, and they're comps, actual sold comps of new sealed ones, and anywhere from $40 to $75. Some of them have free shipping, some don't, but I'll turn $5 into 40 any day. So there's another good one. All right, I'll bring you back in if I find anything else. There is a brand new CV axle, but I don't know what it fits. It says new right there on the tag, but that barcode doesn't bring anything up, and there are no other markings on it, so it's probably a very generic one. I don't know what it fits. Oh, and it's heavy. Wouldn't want to ship that. It'd be expensive to ship. But you never know. I have found car parts before and done really well with them. We're gonna check some sporting goods. You know what, going back through and hitting some of the aisles I couldn't get to earlier and taking another look paid off. Between those flashcards and that shoe polisher, we picked up another $100 in pure profit, even after fees. There's a neat little nightstand. I need a nightstand. I don't know that I need that one. Kind of want something under the wheel. There we go. What was we running over? No telling. The fuzzy footstools are still here. All right, that's a neat mirror. It's made to look old. Yeah, no weight to it at all. Yep, that's from TJ Maxx. They wanted $24 for it. What are they wanting here? $6? Well, at least they didn't overprice that one. No fancy floor lamps over here. I don't mess with too many vacuum cleaners. I've got 2 rainbow vacs at home, the canister vacs. Actually, I got 3, but my wife and mother-in-law love them. But I have tasked them with putting the best setup for one of them together, and then I'm gonna part out the other 2 eventually. I've parted those out before. They are a pain in the neck to clean and get ready to list, and I've got plenty to do already. All right, I'll bring you back in if we find anything else. This is a leg massager. You'd lay on the floor and put your legs, ankles, whatever, right there, and it vibrates. It has comps for $50 to $100. I've bought and sold these things before, but I don't know. I think I'm gonna leave it here. If it's still here when the red tags go on half off, I'll pick it up. I'm not sure that I've got a box. I probably do, but it's got all the cords and cables with it. And if it goes on half off sale, we'll take that home. It's just a lot of inventory real estate to take up for something that might sit for a while. Wow, that was a really good trip to Goodwill. Folks, you can go day after day after day and find little to nothing. And then one day you go in there and you get a cart full. You know, it's not quite a cart full, but it is some really good stuff. And the good stuff just kept happening. When I got home, I got on the computer and checked. You guys may remember I sold a $1,200 watch a couple of weeks ago, and it was going out through the EIS, eBay International Shipping Program. And it's been hung up in their warehouse for a solid week. Well, I finally got on there and looked tonight, or this afternoon when I got home, and saw that it had passed all its inspections and would be forwarded onto the buyer. Finally. So all of that money got transferred. I even paid the $2 fee to get it immediately transferred. I had some bills that needed to be paid. They needed to have been paid a couple of 2 or 3 days ago. But everything's fine there. So that was awesome. Let me show you what I would come up with. First off, at the beginning of the video, you heard me say I had to refund a customer because I found some damage on a VHS tape. Just on a whim, I took another VHS tape apart and got a spare one of these off of it. This is the front cover that goes right here. Now, it wasn't quite as simple. I thought you just pop this side loose, pop that side loose, and pop the new one on. No, there's a spring in there attached to an extra long thing. Then there's 2 more springs here. Then there's a couple of ratchet clicks in here. It sounds more complicated than it is. You take it apart this way, take all the screws out of it this way, turn it around this way, pull the top off, and that keeps everything lined up. And then there were these little sleeves that the tape rides. Anyway, I was able to fix the thing, and it should be good to go. Before I relist it though, I'm going to hook up one of my VCRs and test it, make sure it works. We found a pair of Brooks. We paid $13.99 minus 10% for these. These should bring us $40 to $60. They're in really good condition. Just a light wipe down, and they'll be ready to list. That's the way I like to find shoes. If they need any more work than that, they have to be something really special before I'll pick them up anymore. Let's see, next. I told you guys we found these vocabulary flashcards. These are new sealed, and there are, when you look it up by the barcode, there's a whole bunch listed that are not this. There are a few of them that are this that are not new sealed. When you go look through the solds, same story. Very few new sealed ones. But what few that I did see were in the $40 plus range. So 5 into 40, that's a good buy. Next, we have this little Swarovski that was indeed a Swarovski swan on the top, and make matters better, it's got it written on the inside of the lid, but it's this little crystal mouse. Beautiful little guy. Unfortunately, his tail is detached, and it is detached. I don't know if you can see that, if that's going to show up, but Swarovski is put together with glue. So a single drop of super glue and that tail will reattach, boom, right there. It almost clicks into place without glue. But new inbox, or not new, but inbox like this, I saw comps well over $100. Great buy for $4. Next is something that's been on my BOLO list for a while. Y'all see how purple that glass is? It's sapphire and light, and it's neodymium. Neodymium is a type of glass that color changes from blue to purple. And most light, it'll be purple like this. This is a nice bright lilac purple. But if you've been following for any length of time, you saw me pick up some of these squiggle bulbs. And the reason I did was so I could test this type of glass. Now, this bulb is 1600 lumens, so it's a little powerful, but boom, it turned to an aqua blue. So we know this is neodymium glass. We didn't get just one. We got 2 for $4. I haven't even looked up the comps yet, but I know they're going to go for a lot more than $4. And last but not least, when we found this, I told you to guess what it is. And if you saw the title to the video, that was a clue to what this was. This is a shoe polishing kit, and it's, for all intents and purposes, it's new. It has wear consistent with a single use before it was put away. This little part, the motor of it, this was actually used to make the prop in the Ghostbusters. It had the 2 little strips of LEDs that would come out when a ghost was near. This is what they used to make that prop. There is a whole subculture of people out there. Maybe not even subculture, maybe just a culture of people out there. And they love finding this stuff and recreating those movie props. The movie props themselves are exceedingly hard to get a hold of, and when they do come on the market, they're exceedingly expensive. So the next best thing is to find out how they made those props and then make your own. So this should bring us somewhere in the $60 to $75 range of profit. So there we go. That's what we found today. Good news with the watch. We got some money coming in, and I think we're just going to call today a win. I want to thank you so much for coming along with me on my little treasure hunts. So y'all like and subscribe. Can't speak sometimes. Like and subscribe. Come along for the ride. We'll see you on the next one. Y'all come back now. You hear?